Saudi Arabia's final warning to Iran. Gulf on the brink of war. What if one warning could ignite an entire region? What if the skies over the Gulf suddenly turned into a battlefield? Right now, tensions between Saudi Arabia and Iran are reaching a breaking point. Missiles, drones, airspace violations, and now, a final warning. Saudi Arabia has made it clear, enough is enough. But the real question is, what happens if Iran doesn't listen? Because this could be the moment everything changes. That on March 19th, Saudi Arabia's foreign minister delivered a message that sent shockwaves across the Middle East. It wasn't diplomatic, that it wasn't subtle. It was a warning. Saudi Arabia accused Iran of repeatedly violating its airspace and launching aggressive attacks. And this time, the kingdom made one thing clear. Its patience is running out. Behind closed doors, officials described the situation as unsustainable. Publicly, the tone was even harsher. This wasn't just political pressure. This was the sound of a country preparing for something bigger. The warning didn't come out of nowhere. In just a matter of days, Iran reportedly launched dozens of drones and multiple ballistic missiles towards Saudi territory. This wasn't a one-off incident. It was a pattern. Each attack testing limits. Each strike pushing boundaries. And while many of these threats were intercepted, the message behind them was loud and clear. Iran was willing to escalate. But what Iran may not have expected was how quickly the region would respond. Saudi Arabia didn't immediately retaliate with missiles. Instead, it made calculated moves. First, diplomacy. Iranian military officials were expelled. Embassy staff were declared persona non grata. Then, strategy. Saudi Arabia quietly allowed U.S. forces to operate from King Fahd Air Base. A move that significantly shifts military balance in the region. This wasn't just defense. This was positioning. Because if things go further, Saudi Arabia won't be standing alone on paper. Iran has a large military, but reality tells a different story. Years of sanctions, ongoing operations, aging equipment. Iran's air force, in particular, is often described as outdated. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia operates one of the most advanced air fleets in the region, equipped with modern fighter jets, advanced missile defense systems, and precision strike capabilities that if conflict turns into open war, air superiority could decide everything. And here's where things get even more serious. Saudi Arabia may not fight alone. Other Gulf nations are already preparing. The UAE is considering economic pressure. Bahrain is increasing military coordination. Strategic cooperation with global powers is quietly expanding. This isn't just a bilateral conflict anymore, but it's starting to look like a coalition. And when multiple nations align against one, the stakes change completely. That if tensions escalate further, the real fight may not be in the sky, but at sea. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical oil routes in the world. Control this, and you control global energy flow. Any disruption here could send shockwaves across the global economy, spike oil prices, and draw in international powers. That's why this region isn't just a battlefield. It's leverage. Right now, the situation is balanced on a knife's edge. Several possible scenarios are emerging. Diplomatic talks could calm tensions. Limited conflict could continue without full-scale war, or everything could spiral into a regional confrontation. And here's the dangerous part. All it takes is one miscalculation, one missile, one response. One decision. Saudi Arabia has drawn a line. Iran has been pushing boundaries. The region is watching. The world is watching. Because this isn't just about two countries anymore. It's about power, control, and what happens when warnings are ignored. The question is no longer if something will happen. It's when. And when it does, everything could change. If you want real updates on global conflicts and breaking geopolitical stories, make sure to subscribe, because the next development could happen any moment, and you don't want to miss it. Title: Saudi Arabia versus Iran. The war that could change everything, Part 2. But what if this isn't just about warnings anymore? What if the next move has already been decided behind closed doors? Because while the world focuses on missiles and drones, something far more dangerous is happening quietly: preparation. Intelligence reports and regional signals suggest that military readiness across the Gulf has increased dramatically. Air defense systems are on high alert. Fighter jets are being repositioned. Naval units are quietly moving into strategic locations. This isn't routine. This is what preparation for conflict looks like. And the most alarming part? It's happening on multiple fronts at the same time. Saudi Arabia is no longer thinking defensively. Sources suggest the kingdom is actively reviewing offensive strategies, including precision strikes targeting critical Iranian infrastructure. Not cities, not civilians, but strategic assets. Military bases, missile launch sites, command centers. If executed, these strikes wouldn't just send a message. They would change the balance of power overnight. Meanwhile, Iran is not standing still. Despite economic pressure and sanctions, Iran has doubled down on asymmetric warfare. Instead of traditional confrontation, it relies on drone swarms, proxy groups, rapid, unpredictable strikes. This strategy is designed to stretch defenses and create constant pressure without triggering full-scale war. But there's a risk. The more unpredictable the attacks become, the harder they are to contain. And then there's the digital battlefield. Cyber warfare is now a key part of modern conflict, and both sides are deeply involved. Critical infrastructure could be targeted. Power grids, oil facilities, communication networks. A successful cyber attack could cripple a nation without a single missile being launched. And unlike traditional warfare, you don't always see it coming. But perhaps the most dangerous development is happening at sea. Naval forces across the Gulf are increasing their presence, particularly near key shipping lanes. The Strait of Hormuz is now under intense watch. Even a minor incident, a seized tanker, a blocked route, a warning shot, could escalate instantly. Because in that narrow stretch of water, there's no room for mistakes. Global powers are also watching closely. The United States has maintained a strategic silence, refusing to confirm direct involvement. But actions often speak louder than words. Military positioning, regional coordination, quiet alliances. All signs suggest that if conflict erupts, it may not stay contained. And here's the reality no one wants to admit. Once a full-scale conflict begins in the Gulf, there is no easy way to stop it. Too many masaliha. Too much at stake. What starts as a regional clash could quickly become something much bigger. So where does this lead? Right now, everything is still in motion. No official declaration. No open war. But all the pieces are moving into place. And history has shown us something important. The most dangerous moments are not when war is declared. They're when everything is ready, but nothing has happened yet. Because that's when one decision, one mistake, one trigger changes everything. Stay alert. Because the next move in this conflict may not come with a warning. And when it happens,